ACAC, how do you see this thing shaking out? Because you've got Woodland atop the conference now, number 2 in 2A, 4-0 in conference play this season. Adams Central with a big win out South Adams, where they look dominant both offensively and defensively. Those are the two teams right at the top right now. How do you see this playing out? Because obviously there's one really huge game on the horizon for this conference still left.
Week 9, Woodland and Adams Central. I think we thought, well, maybe South Adams can sneak in there, maybe. And then Adams Central emphatically put a stop to that on Friday. Dominant performance in Byrne over South Adams. But Woodland is probably going to ascend to number 1 in 2A. Whiting got beat over the weekend. So it's going to be a tremendous challenge for Adams Central. It's going to be similar to last year in terms of all the hype's going to be Woodland. They're number 1. How far can they go in 2A? And Adams Central almost knocked them off Week 9 and obviously came close to that goal line stand. Whether it was a stand or a missed call, you can ask the fan bases on which way that went. But it is going to be a very good game. Very impressed with Adams Central last Friday night. Really dominated a South Adams team that was an upstart South Adams team. Very good. But Week 9, all eyes are going to be on that game.
And we've seen we've seen Adams Central play well against good opponents. Belmont in Week 1, they got a victory. East Side coming to their place, they get a 2-touchdown victory in that one. But it's been a while since we've seen them play against an opponent that's going to give them maybe trouble, and South Adams actually didn't give them all that much trouble. Grant Mosier, the coach of South Adams, before the game, he was on live with us, and he said this may be a better Adams Central team than they had last year. How is that possible? When you take a look at what they graduated and, you know, being a smaller school, talent is cyclical. How do they stay up and maybe even be better than last year and pose an even bigger threat to Woodland?
Well, you know, you mentioned continuity, and a lot of guys, they graduated some guys, but a lot of guys came back this year, and they just do what they do. Adams Central is just tough, hard-nosed, and they're gonna smash you in the mouth, and if you're not ready for it, then they're gonna dominate you. And I think they've been able to do that most of the season. The question is, can they do it against Woodland? Because Adams Central is at its best when it can control the line of scrimmage and move the ball on the ground. If you make them pass over 10 times a game, they don't like doing that. So that'll be the interesting thing against Woodland, is if Woodland is able to slow down that offense and make them into second and long, third and long situations where they have to go vertical and beat you through the pass.
We mentioned Snyder had some strong teams to end the season, which is, after being dominant throughout a season, that's kind of what you want to make sure you are ready for the playoffs. Woodland has that same scenario. You've got Lima Central Catholic coming in this week. Then you've got the game at South Adams. Then you've got Adams Central. So you're playing a team historically. Obviously, we don't cover a lot of Ohio football, but from everything that I've seen, should be a pretty good football team, is a pretty good football program. And then you back end that with the two best other teams in the conference. I mean, if you're Woodland, how excited are you for the next 3 weeks to show everybody, hey, man, we're not just beating up on Sisters of the Poor. We can really put the hammer down week to week against quality competition.
And that's what they need, because Woodland has kind of been an afterthought for us the last 3, 4, 5 weeks because they really haven't played anybody. And, you know, Coach Sherwood Haydock would say it too. We need a challenge, especially going into a postseason where there are competitive teams in that sectional. They're going to see Eastside again, most likely. So how good are they? And they're really going to be tested the last couple weeks, and it's including Adams Central. And the funny thing is, with Adams Central, we talk so much about that being for the ACAC championship, but both Woodland and Adams Central, very competitive sectionals with aspirations to go deep in the postseason. So that game, win or lose, is going to help them prepare for a brutal 2 or 3 week stretch in sectionals and beyond to get ready for what they hope is a trip to Lucas Oil Stadium.
If you had to pick now, I mean, this is the closest conference. Well, no, East Noble, New Haven's tough to pick. Who would you pick between Woodland and Adams Central based on what you saw at South Adams and based on what we've seen from Woodland throughout the season?
My worry for Adams Central is if somebody limits that run game, can they move the ball in other ways? And I think until I see it, I'm going to pick Woodland, because I think Woodland is the more balanced offense. And it's a crutch against Adams Central because they haven't had to do it. So maybe they're fully capable of doing it. Maybe they can surprise us. But right now, I think Woodland is the more balanced offense. And until Adams Central is able to show that they can move the ball vertically if they have to, I'm going to go with the Warriors. But last year was tremendously close, a lot more close than we thought it would be. And this year has the potential to be the exact same way.